to episode 109 of Top Row Reality. We are back. Some people have to.
That's true. Some people do have to sleep when they travel all night long. But this week,
don't sleep while you're driving.
Don't sleep while you're driving. No. But when you get done traveling, go to sleep. Just sometimes, don't wake up at 3 o'clock. Go to sleep.
Don't sleep.
Yes. But Tommy calls it something different. But don't, if you go to sleep, try not to sleep all the way until 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
That is true.
That kind of messes you up a little bit.
But it's the summertime. We take vacation. People take vacation, so from time to time we will be off.
That's
but
true.
You can always count that when we come back, it's going to be great, great, great Top Road Rope Reaction Action.
Easy for you to say.
That's not easy for nobody to say.
It really was not, but a lot has gone on.
Mouth is still off.
A lot has gone. It's like a bad Japanese movie. A lot has gone on while we were gone for a week.
Oh, yes.
Ton of news, and we're going to start it out right here, right now, with the people that were named as the GMs or the commissioners. They're the commissioners, right?
They were the COOs of Raw and SmackDown.
At first it started with GM. Then it went to COO. Now they're commissioners.
Yes.
Very confusing.
They don't know what they want to do because it's Vince McMahon.
That's right. He likes to change his mind.
Because during his interview, when he showed up on Raw Monday, he said COO, and then he changed it to commissioners.
But when we're live, whatever you do, you meant to do it.
That's right.
That's the way he looks at it. But your commissioner for Raw will be Stephanie McMahon, and the commissioner for the first ever live SmackDown.
SmackDown Live.
SmackDown
Live.
It's
going to be called SmackDown Live.
It will be called SmackDown Live. But what I'm saying is it's for the first ever commissioner for when SmackDown does go live.
Yes. This Tuesday.
This Tuesday.
Not Thursday.
Not Thursday.
That's for somebody else. This Tuesday.
Yes. Live. Shane McMahon will be your commissioner. But now a new added thing that we did not know about. Monday night on Raw. The night before the actual draft, they must now pick their general managers because he said there's going to be so much going on. You're going to be competing with live event attendance. You're going to be competing with merchandise sales, competing with buy rates, competing with ratings that you cannot do the day-to-day stuff by yourself. So you need a GM.
I hope what this does is we don't want no back and forth. They need to be the same. If you're a heel, you have a heel GM. If you're a face, you have a face GM. Don't have no back and forth fighting every week because that gets old. We've seen it 100 times before. And it also gives Stephanie no time to be on TV all the time because the GM can be there. Right. And also for Shane, ain't going to be there every week because it gets old after a while.
That's true.
That changes up a few things. And Shane has already announced, pretty much like the next day, that he already found the GM for SmackDown. And we're going to find out along with
Raw. We're going to find out, but I don't know if you saw, they may have let the cat out of the bag for the SmackDown general manager.
Yes, I did see that.
Yes, me too.
I did. I was very surprised by the yes,
Me, I was very surprised by that yes as well.
But we'll talk more about this in part 3. So let's get on over to Brock Lesnar here.
Yes, he done got himself in trouble somehow.
Mr. Brock, yes.
Brock with that Canadian flag, which is not Canadian. He just happens to live there.
Yes, he went to UFC, kicked some booty, pocketed a lot of cash. You have to back up the bank truck here.
$6 million.
Yes.
6.8 because
you got 2.5 just for the fight.
Just to show up for the fight.
Yeah.
Then he gets the percentage of the buy rates, all that stuff, probably merchandise sales, anything. Yes. $6.8 million, but now he may be losing some money.
Yes, he may be losing some money.
Because they said he was flagged for potential doping violation. Anytime they say that, I think of dope.
I do too.
They need to say it differently. But
I also think of RVD for some reason.
Right. But WWE and the UFC has issued statements. Could Brock Lesnar not be eligible for his SummerSlam match versus Randy Orton?
How much they put into this already, and
it's crazy.
Could just go right down the old tubes.
Well, because it's not a guaranteed thing yet. They have to do an investigation. They've
got time.
They've got a committee that has to come together. And apparently one of his teammates are saying that it was from an inhaler. An asthma inhaler is supposedly what did it, what flagged them. And Brock also made a statement and said, we'll get to the bottom of this.
Yes.
Here's the thing, though. This is kind of unprecedented because this has never happened where the guy works for both companies.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look back on it, I know he's not an active member of the roster, but you look back on someone else who got in trouble for anti-doping violation thing, and that is the man that they call the Mr. Booty, Billy Gunn.
Mm-hmm.
He did not get in trouble in WWE.
No.
He got in trouble for a doping situation when he was doing bodybuilding competitions. So they forced him out of bodybuilding because apparently he was taking something, and they fired him. WWE fired him.
And he said, "See you later."
So if the WWE is going to fire Billy Gunn for that, now we're at an unprecedented situation.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they have to fire him, but should they, since they are a publicly traded company, and this is out in the public, and the UFC is going to have to suspend him.
Oh, he gets sealed, yes.
He's going to get suspended even if.
You've made too much a point about Roman Reigns, but Seth keep bringing it up every time, and it's been out there. If Brock ends up failing this drug test, it goes against him, they have to suspend him 30 days.
Now they're even saying that the UFC, the anti-doping violation people, that even if it's accidental,
yes,
he will still get suspended by the UFC. Now, if it is an inhaler, I can see where WWE would say, look, no.
If it's not part of their banned substance, then they'll be okay.
Right. But, because their banned substances for WWE may be different from UFC.
That's right.
And that's fine.
That would be their out.
That's fine. That is their out.
Yes.
But we first have to see where the investigation goes.
But if it's not the then
they have to suspend him.
Yes, you go. And then that takes care of one of their matches. It's, you slide Brock out, you slide somebody else in, take on Randy Orton.
But if they find out quick enough, I don't know when the date is, but they're trying to say that if they find out fast enough, they can suspend him and he'll still be back in time.
Well, they have to go pretty soon because it's pretty much like a month from.
Right, it's coming up.
Yeah,
it's coming up.
Month from Battleground. They usually go 28 to 30 days from the last pay-per-view until they start doing doubles. But that's about the. So they're going to have to.
So this is definitely.
It's one of these like, okay, Roman's back from his suspension, Brock's gone for his 30 days.
Right. This is definitely going to be interesting right here. Yeah. Like I said, it's very unprecedented, so I don't know what's going to happen. But
maybe next week on episode 110, we will have more information on big old Brock Lesnar.
But moving on from getting in trouble to moving on to a new night, Impact Wrestling on Pop TV moves to its new home. It goes back home.
It's what the fans wanted.
So now they go back to their regular time slot on Thursday nights at 8/7 Central, starting July 21st. Happens to be the same week that SmackDown goes live.
You can't even go once. I mean, you tried once against Raw.
Yeah, you could compete with them one time on your taped episode from a year ago.
Yeah, trying to see how
how it fits in there. I would say go for it, Dixie.
What I'd say, stick your nose out there and go for it, because you're hiring people like this former Ring of Honor star showed up last week.
He did. On the live episode of Impact Wrestling, we got a huge guy, a huge coup for them, if you will, getting them away from Ring of Honor, and apparently they're almost doing an invasion angle. He is teaming up with Michael Bennett. Both come from Ring of Honor, and they're both going in there and attacking everybody. It wasn't just heels. It wasn't just facing everybody.
Yeah, because I think they're heel. Bennett's a heel.
Right. So that makes Moose a heel, but Moose attacked faces and heels.
Moose.
Yes. Moose is here, and the fans were getting with it, doing the Moose thing. Because Dave Meltzer tried to say that nobody knew who he was when he debuted. But yet, you can clearly see they were doing the Moose thing. So
people don't know. And I was like, some guy named Moose, I'm going to just do this since he's doing it because I don't know who he is. Yeah, okay. How stupid do people think he is? People watch Ring of Honor.
Right.
He's a big star. He was a big star in Ring of Honor.
He was.
If he wouldn't have had the domestic violence charges against him in the past,
WWE
he would
would
be working in NXT right now.
That's true.
Because of that, they got to be more careful. And they are going to be more careful, which means that some people who have been naughty in the past will not get a job with WWE in the future.
Well, I mean, it goes along with the same thing with that Seth's ex-girlfriend.
Yes.
She put the Nazi stuff online.
And she was bye.
And they got rid of her. They never would hire Sami Callihan's girlfriend, which is Havoc, because she had some very disparaging things to say online as well. You have to think long term.
Yeah, you
If
do.
you say, you know what, I'll be a wrestler, then guess what? You can't post any derogatory thing on Facebook about any sex, creed, nationality, what do you call it, sexual orientation,
Right.
any of that stuff. You can't make fun of anybody for anything whatsoever. I mean,
Not this PC
I know
world
this
anymore.
is random, but the same thing's happening outside of wrestling because the Playboy Playmate just lost her radio job and she's getting a federal investigation against her because she posted a picture of a woman nude at the gym trying to shower because she just got done working out and now she's showering to leave. And she said, if I can't unsee this, neither can y'all. And she posted it, and she's laughing at this woman. She posted the picture, and in a split screen you can see her chuckling about it. You can't do that anymore.
No, not in PC world, no, you can't.
It's not the way of the world anymore. You can't just sit around and make fun of anybody because guess what? Someone's going to get offended by it.
Yeah, it's just the world of being offended.
So it's happening everywhere, and it especially happens in wrestling. So you have to be very careful what you do. So
Yes.
that's a warning for all you independent wrestlers out there. Think you can make it big? Start thinking about what you said and what you did on social media are legal.
And if you're gonna say it, don't
stuff.
say anything on social media. Say it away from phones,
Right.
away
If
from
you
cameras.
think it out loud and you think somebody might get offended, don't post it, people.
No. And that was your tip from Top Rope Reality.
Yes. A public service announcement.
Now
Yes,
you
sir.
know.
That's right. But yeah, this is very exciting.
Oh, I love it. And this is only the beginning. I think this is only the beginning. Out of 32.
Well, technically, we already have 3.
Yes, but out of 32, there may be 16 to 20 signed.
Yes. Because right now we already know Tajiri got
Yes,
re-signed.
which is good. And we're probably going to be one more last run for the Brian Kendrick, which they did bring up. Yeah, I knew when I heard them talk about it on the tournament bracket show.
Right.
And they said the Brian. I said I know somebody who's smiling when he sees it because he wants the Brian Kendrick. So
I'm a big fan.
I know.
Because, I mean, he reminded me a lot of Brian Pillman.
He does, and they just.
But I do like how
they changed him.
But I do like how he took the blame for him getting himself released. If you watch his video, he said, I was too busy patting myself on the back and I was out of control.
And he may get one more run. I don't know if he'll get more run. I mean, they will need people, so he may get a few little runs up there on SmackDown or Raw, and then NXT, and then be a trainer.
I would much rather him just stay down. Him and Tajiri need to stay down in NXT,
Yeah.
so that way they can be there at the Performance Center all the time to be trainers, and then be like Rhino and do shots here and there on the actual NXT TV, putting people over. But we already think Brian Kendrick's going to get hired, and we already know Tajiri's gotten hired, and then they've already saying that reportedly, we don't know for sure
Not official yet.
not official, but they're saying 2 more Cruiserweight Classic competitors have been signed and 2 NXT deals, and that is Kota Ibushi, and I think I said that right.
I think you did.
Gran.
Let me give you one of these.
Thank you, and I'll let you take a Gran. What?
Metallic.
Yes.
It's like metallic paint. That's what
I guess. But
and
those
since that's not
two,
his regular name, because I can't think what his regular name is.
yeah, they said that he does not go by that on the indie scene, so they probably already own that.
So yeah, they're good to go. So
Sounds like to me that they
let it go and keep his mask on. Let's don't take his mask off.
Sounds like to me they threw that name onto him, saying, "Hey, you're gonna get hired, so we're gonna change your name now."
Yes,
Just
he's
go ahead
like,
and get it over with.
okay.
Sure, I'll take a job.
Yes.
Um,
So
and you know, it's very.
I'm impressed with a lot of the people I've seen on the first night, which we'll talk about that in part 3 as well.
Yes, part 3, and I'm going to talk about some more people that might get hired on, because, you know, my boy's on there. My boy better get hired.
I think your boy's going to get hired.
It's kind of mad that who he's losing to. No spoilers. It's both my boys. You can figure that out if you want to figure it out. You know what I'm talking about.
You mean the Bollywood boys?
No. Did you know that?
And I know they're going to hire them. That's a new tag team. Let's bring them in.
But think about that, though. I don't know if they are, but I know they were in the tournament for it.
Mm-hmm.
But they were on Global Force. I think they're the Global Force Tag Champs.
That's interesting.
Either that or they were just in the tournament. But I know when they did that first set of tapings, the Bollywood boys, the 2 of them were in the tag team tournament.
That's interesting.
So I guess they said Jared ain't moving fast enough.
He's not. I know. I thought by now, looking back at our episodes, God, this is a tough topic that you brought up, Jared. I thought by now Jared would be rocking and rolling, be at least the 4th promotion, maybe trying to tip the scales with TNA. His ass ain't nowhere on the map. He's just totally just.
It's basically him and Karen going around to indie shows saying this is Global Force versus so and so.
This is
because they just did one with a group called RCW or something like that, and
well, at least it wasn't Hog.
Who that is?
That's one of them where it was, we got House of Hardcore, we got the Ring of Honor. This is like, it's called Hog. You're a Hog champion.
I don't know which one that one is, but that's pretty funny. And then
I will look it up, and before we start, when we come back for part 2, I'll have what Hog stands for.
But then they also had
maybe Honor of Glory, House of Glory,
gosh.
Hog champion.
Hog champion.
You are the Hog champion. Great. No,
I've been to a show, by the way, when we sold stuff. House of Lucha, HOL, which is that's okay. I guess. There was no lucha matches on the show, though. It makes a lot of sense.
That's a good one there.
Makes all the sense in the world.
Okay, let's jump over and go talk about Battleground. That's coming up, where
it is coming up.
Where they'll have this man, Mr. Do drugs and get to come back and win a title match, Roman Reigns.
Oh, there he is. But yeah, so that is the triple threat match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Which you don't like because you wanted to be saved for SummerSlam, which I thought it should have been. I thought this was their out. We could have a singles match, which we're going to get a singles match. Monday, before the pay-per-view. Very interesting.
So this week is the week before the pay-per-view.
Yes.
So we get Monday, we get a title match.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday we get the draft, and then Sunday, and this is one thing I don't like. They go into this draft thinking, let's do shock. Let's have shock.
Don't bring up the shock part.
Let's do a lot of shock.
I know what you're
saying.
So
they're basically saying that the more established you are as a tag team,
don't bring that up.
We break you up. That doesn't make any sense. Enzo and Cass, they keep bringing it up. I almost can guarantee you they're going to get split.
Carter's corner.
It makes me mad. Don't split Enzo and Cass.
Don't split the Dudley boys unless...
Don't do that again, ever. Okay?
Unless I would be happy if the Dudley split only if Devon goes to back and be an agent.
And we get Bully Ray.
And we get a WWE version of Bully Ray on SmackDown.
Exactly.
Right now, if it ends up being Stephanie and Hunter, that's going to kill Raw.
I think Hunter needs to stay down in NXT. He does not need to be on Raw.
Because everybody's going to say, hey, we got the authority back. Let's go to SmackDown. Okay, well, SmackDown's going to win.
Right. But
the triple threat, we'll come back to that later on.
Oh, I'm so aggravated.
I know, when I read that too, that sucks. Don't do that.
I mean, but I also see where they wouldn't do the unestablished teams, because obviously they're not going to split Primo and Epico because they haven't done anything. They're not going to split the Usos because...
They need to split the Usos. I thought they were testing the waters when Jimmy or Jay took on Seth a couple weeks back on SmackDown.
But if you split them up, what do they really have?
Nothing.
There's nothing for them. They're twins. It's confusing to people. People are not going to get behind it.
No,
because they're going to be like, oh, that guy was in that first match, and now he's in the fifth match. It's the same guy. I'm so confused.
You got to keep teams together that are working teams, like you said. Do not break these people up.
Because if you break
the
up...
Usos do not need to be... They do not need to be broken up.
If you break up Gallows and Anderson,
I'll be so mad. Broken up. That doesn't make sense. The Dudleys, we've tried it once. Hello, Reverend Devon.
Yeah, it didn't work.
No, it does not work. I'm sorry. There's some you can. Take a member out of one here. Take a member out of there. Wyatt's okay. Tone the Wyatts down maybe a little bit. Tone down
I could see
social
them
outcast.
keeping out Luke Harper and just leaving it like the way it is now,
and
Luke Harper being on his own. I could also see him take, like you said, the social outcast, splitting some of them off.
Yeah.
I could also see them doing that with New Day because they're already testing the waters with that.
Yeah.
And putting Big E by himself. I'm okay with that.
But some teams.
But don't ruin Enzo and Big Cass, because I don't think Enzo is going to survive on his own as a wrestler.
No.
As a mouthpiece, yes. As a wrestler, not so much.
But let's go ahead and continue. Let's talk about
Speaking
Battleground.
of Big Cass and Enzo, we have a 6-man tag team match. Because this is why I was bringing it up, because Michael Cole was like, do you realize that Sunday at Battleground could be the final time you team together? Shut up, people.
Of course.
Don't call it. That's another thing. They calling it like that. It could not happen, maybe, because they keep calling it. Because their psychology is, they call it. It's
let's
not
go
gonna
back.
happen.
Let's go back to the triple threat for a minute. On the triple threat, do you think Dean keeps the title?
I think he needs to.
I think he does too.
Because right now he's the weakest of the three with a title reign.
The stinkest thing they could do
Is give it back to Roman
give it
Reigns.
Roman Reigns. That would be a terrible, terrible thing.
Seth doesn't really need it right now.
No, Seth is doing great chasing.
Yes. Dean needs to be the champion for a little while longer. He needs to prove himself as a champion because everybody's saying that he's a crappy champion. People are saying that he didn't need the belt. His character's grown stale. I could see their point in some of this stuff, so he needs to prove
And
himself.
also, there was rumors out there, don't know how true they are, that the match between Brock and Randy would be for a new championship.
And I'll be okay with that.
Be it either Raw's new WWE title or SmackDown's WWE title or whatever the world title. Heavyweight, world, I don't know how they're going to go.
But I have seen the supposed new belt, and it's just the WWE title blue.
I've seen those two, one red, one blue. I have
Okay
two,
with that.
which I'm finding that too. That doesn't make one look better than the other one.
Right. You have the same design but different color.
Right, because when you have the world title, that title there, it always says WCW. That says WCW to me. That doesn't say SmackDown. That doesn't say anything. That says WCW. Ric Flair, right there.
Just Rhodes on it. Yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, so you have
Dean needs to
Affliction.
keep the title going into SummerSlam.
Then we have the 6-man tag: John Cena, Big Cass, Enzo Amore taking on AJ, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows. Now
I would like the club to win. Don't see it happening. But, I mean, if they're going to give John the bigger win at SummerSlam, then AJ and them need to cheat their way to a win in the 6-man here at Battleground.
I could see that because obviously they're going to continue with John Cena and AJ.
Yes, I mean, they said that last night at Madison Square Garden was the best match of the night between.
They said they stole the show.
Yeah,
So.
between Cena and AJ.
I see the faces winning in this, just because of the three people that it is.
Yeah.
The
Last
heels,
hurrah.
well, exactly. If
Could
they're,
be the last hurrah for the other side too. This could be the last time the club is together.
I think whatever team splits up, they'll win. Because they're gonna put if Enzo,
And we will know.
if Enzo and Cass are splitting up, because we'll know on Tuesday if they split apart.
Boy, you do not want to. If Enzo and Cass get split up, you do not want to miss next week's episode because this man is going to have probably the biggest Carter's Corner. He'll be calling me saying, "Carter's Corner." That's all he wants is Carter's Corner.
The whole episode, Carter's Corner. But yes, if they're going to split them two up, they're going to let them go out on top. They're going to let the faces win. But I do agree that John Cena is going to get his win back at SummerSlam, so the heels need to win the 6-man.
Intercontinental title match. The Miz's days are over. Darren Young will become the new Intercontinental
Yes, the
Champion.
Miz is going to put over Darren Young, and we're going to make Darren Young great again. Blah, 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 blah. That Miz TV was rough.
Was it rough? I haven't seen it yet. It was rough. Oh, that's not good.
It was bad.
It was really bad.
That was funny, though. They tried to do a career highlight of Darren Young.
There ain't none.
That's the whole point.
There's no career. Did he make a point of that?
Yes.
Oh, then definitely.
That was the best part.
Oh,
The
my
Miz
pick for Darren Young has just skyrocketed then because this will be his career highlight.
Because I think the Miz, I don't know if they didn't show it on the
Better
YouTube
than
video.
Titus. So that's.
Oh, because he's younger. That's why they're going with him.
Is that the only reason?
Well, we won't get into that.
He's
So,
younger.
He's younger. So the Miz, I think they did a career highlight of Bob Backlund on the actual show. I only saw the YouTube. They cut that part out. for what I read, I think that they did a career highlight of Bob Backlund.
Check it out on Hulu and see.
But they did a career highlight. He's like, let's go to the video screen for a career highlight of Darren Young. And it was one of those things where your TV goes out, not the static, but the lines, the blue and green and yellow lines.
Yeah.
And I was like, eh. I was like, that's freaking perfect. So they're giving the sympathy to him. It works. And then the Miz was like, I thought they were going to fight. I guess they didn't want the usual, oh, they fell out in a thing.
I mean, that's good.
Because the Miz was trying to talk bad about him, and Darren takes the microphone. He was like, because he was talking about Bob Backlund being old and stuff. He was like, you won't disrespect my life coach, my mentor, my WWE Hall of Famer, but he yanked the microphone away from him. Miz takes it back, and Miz is like, don't you ever touch my microphone. And before he ever said the full sentence, Darren Young took the microphone away again. He's like, what you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And then Miz just like cowardly walks away. They don't touch each other.
They don't eat you sometimes.
Darren Young is either going to win it at Battleground or he's going to win it at SummerSlam, but regardless, Darren Young's finally going to get a singles title before Titus O'Neil.
Yeah.
Which we ever thought, when they split them up, I thought it was all Titus O'Neil and we weren't going to get no Darren Young. He's going to be the marginality of the group.
Titus is going to be the marginality of the group.
Because he touched Vince McMahon.
But I like that if you said that was very good with the screen on the Darren Young thing. I have to give I have to give the production crew some props here because when they did the Rollins report, and he's doing the interview, you could definitely tell there was different segments.
Oh, yeah.
Did you notice? I missed it, but I saw it on the video later where it says Roman Reigns, not the bad guy, not a guy, just a suspended guy.
Yeah.
I said that is so interesting and funny that they did that.
Yes, the little things. Yeah. Which is funny because one of the things where he answered a question, he had the duty title on his arm. I was like, what the crap? They could have at least taken that out of there. That's pretty funny, though.
Well, you have to find your right answer to make him look like an idiot.
But that was funny. But I will say this, though. All together, that segment with Miz and Darren Young was rough. But the part about the career highlight made that segment.
Yeah. Sometimes they are rough, and there's one thing that does it. So.
Yes, and that's definitely what that was. So, yes, Darren Young, new Intercontinental Champion. Then we go to the U.S. Championship. Swan song every single time with this guy. Rusev with Lana taking on Zack Ryder. Oh, my gosh. I would rather Titus O'Neil have the title match.
I keep thinking that, with them getting married, that he'd be taking some time off, a few times off. A week or so.
A week, probably, yeah.
And, maybe Zack's going to win. It's hard to see because they are so hot cold
with him all the time.
Which drives me up the freaking wall.
Don't give the man a pay-per-view match if you're not even going to push the guy.
Yeah, because he tapped out to Alberto in a house show. I know it doesn't. I went to SmackDown. It happened earlier this week.
They just can't figure out with him.
And I say, okay, house show, it's okay, kind of, but still, he shouldn't.
I think what would have been better, though, is if Titus O'Neil got another match here with Rusev and won the belt, and Titus and Darren won singles titles on the same night.
That would be good. That's a good story.
I know it's not as big as this, but it's almost like the WrestleMania where Eddie retains against Kurt, and that one guy won the title in a triple threat match at WrestleMania 20, and they hug at the end with the confetti. Mm-hmm. But if you watch it now, it's just one guy standing there with confetti with his arms around an invisible person. But it's almost like that. But it wouldn't be they wouldn't be as publicized about it.
But it would,
But it would have that same type feel.
Moment, yeah.
They could do a backstage segment.
That's a hard call. I mean, you think Zack's going to win? And usually Rusev.
And there's another thing. They're talking about different pairings that are splitting up, different people that it might be drafted apart. And they brought up Rusev and Lana. I'm like, they're about to get married. I think it'll be a really dumb idea.
Because it was stupid the first time. Let's don't do that again.
Yes. I don't think you need to draft the two of them apart just like you would draft them apart The Miz and Maurice.
No,
if you draft them apart, the Maurice might as well go back to the house because there's nothing for her.
Yeah. Up next is Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. Oh,
again?
Can this be a match of the year candidate?
Will it be the final match?
It needs to be.
I still think, though, they should have waited for this feud until Royal Rumble going into WrestleMania for the next time. Because I don't want to see them over and over and over and over and over and over again. So I know it's supposed to be the feud that'll never end type situation.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see them all the time. Who needs the win is Sami Zayn.
Yes.
That's who needs the win.
Will he get the win? We'll see how
because I don't know if you saw this, but I think Kevin Owens. I think it was it might have been a Canadian thing, like one of their house shows, something.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, he announced something about the Royal Rumble, and he said he would win the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
And I know Stardust has done that before. He actually told the crowd that the Royal Rumble's coming here. He did that in Montgomery.
Yeah, this thing.
Don't be stupid. Okay?
It was someplace in Canada. He said he was saying the Royal. He was going to win it, but it's never going to come to this place.
Right. Which it could be interesting if it actually showed up at that place. I mean, it wouldn't surprise if they did that in Canada, but they're not coming to Montgomery, guys.
Never, ever.
But I would like to see Kevin Owens win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
It'd be different.
It would be different.
So that's why I said Kevin Owens doesn't need it, same as Zayn does.
Yeah.
This is interesting because this next one, Sasha Banks has said that the people that are the rumors that are out there, it's not who it is.
Which that means it's not who it is.
Right?
It better be one of the two either. It better be Bayley or it better be Paige. It's Charlotte and Dana Brooke taking on Sasha and a partner for choosing, which can't be chosen until the night of Battleground. Okay.
Why would you need to do that? Wait till after the draft.
Yes. You can't pick somebody who isn't on your show.
Oh, exactly. Well, you got Charlotte and Dana Brooke taking on Sasha, a part of her choosing. Because you can't have Becky because she's already in a match. We'll get to that in a second.
Yes.
Obviously, that means that Sasha and her partner are winning.
Yes. Be it Paige or be it Bayley.
Woo!
Hope it's Bayley. I do hope it's Bayley.
I hope it's Bayley.
I do miss my girl Paige.
Ryan, where's she been?
I've been everywhere, but not on TV.
She been with Del Rio. You know what
I know. Go with Del Rio and get off TV.
Right. But I see Sasha getting the pin here on either one of them, Charlotte or Dana, and then go into a title match at SummerSlam where finally we get the point we're supposed to be getting, where she finally wins the belt off of Charlotte. And I think that'll be great right there. But if Bayley comes into a tag match and Sasha's going into the title match the next month, where does Bayley go from there? You know what I'm saying?
Dana Brooke.
I guess.
If they're together, they may be broken up. Mm. Needs to be the last one for old Charlotte and her little sidekick.
Ah.
Then we have...
Which I think they're talking about splitting them up anyway, and feuding Charlotte and Dana anyway. And making Dana, because I think they said Dana was going to be the female version of John Cena. Good luck with that!
I thought Bayley was supposed to be the female
Well,
version.
maybe Dana's the female version of Roman Reigns then.
No.
She's green, but they'll get her over anyway.
Because Vince loves that.
That's right.
We have a 6-man tag action, and this will be 6-man, no titles on the line, as New Day takes on the Wyatt family.
Well, if that's the case, there's no titles on the line, then you got to keep at least 2 of the New Day together.
Yep. After
the draft.
So the Wyatts can take on the New Day at SummerSlam for the tag team titles.
And then they lose the belts.
The Wyatts can pick up the win here.
So, you say the Wyatts
I think the Wyatts pick the 6-man, yeah.
The Wyatts need to win and then go
that
to a tag title
That gives them the more thing, hey, we beat you.
Now we go to the momentum of having the tag title match.
And it may even be because Xavier makes a boo-boo.
Right.
During the match, costing his team the win.
Right.
You have some dissension in there. If they're all still 3 together, then there you go. If not...
But I think I could see their point of splitting off Big E and putting him as a singles guy.
Trying it.
Well, because I read that Vince he was split on who he was going to make his next guy, and it was between Roman and Big E, and they say that Triple H convinced him to use Roman. Maybe it was a bad idea.
Yeah, that's another one. Oh, Hunter, so you got some good ones, but you have a stinker. You have a stinker.
But yeah, I mean, Big E is a singles guy. If they really use him, unlike what they did with the Intercontinental title reign he had, I could see it working.
Don't turn him into Roman. Don't turn him into Ryback.
Or Ahmed Johnson.
Yeah.
But yes, I could see them splitting them off. But Kofi needs to be in a tag team. Kofi's days as a singles guy getting a big run is over because he's getting old.
Yeah, he needs to be.
So he needs to be with Xavier, and I think that's the best thing for Xavier too. But yes, I could see the Wyatts winning this one. Then we have Natalya. I'm so glad we have 2 women's matches every pay-per-view.
And no
pre-show matches
yet.
So we have Natalya versus Becky Lynch. And guess what? Unless Natalya cheats and we get another one of these matches at SummerSlam, Becky needs to get the revenge win.
Yeah.
Because she's been attacked, been beat up, been taken down.
Over.
Oh.
Yeah, it's time for Becky to get the win. Let's go. Let's start taking off some of the
And
wins.
then, of course, to build up the match that might not happen, according to whatever goes on with Brock
Yeah,
Lesnar,
I know.
we have a highlight. That's will be the match right there. This will be the match at SummerSlam.
You mean? Yeah.
If they find out before Battleground that Brock won't be there, this is going to be your match. The highlight reel with Chris Jericho with a special guest Randy Orton. And if Brock can't come to the match, Jericho will beat up Randy Orton.
Yeah. Code breaker to old Randy Orton.
Code breaker! And then we'll have a new match. And then I guess Brock will come in the next pay-per-view and have a match with him.
Yeah.
But that is it for part one. I know we had a lot of information to go over because we missed a week, so it's a lot of information to go over.
A lot.
And it's long. I'm so sorry.
And we sidetracked a little bit.
A few
Sidebar.
times.
Sidebar.
But part three, we're going to go over the draft a little bit more. But
Yes.
part two, pay-per-view review, we got Super Brawl. I almost said SummerSlam.
No.
Super Brawl. 4, 5, 6.
Woohoo!
94, 95, and 96.
That is the pay-per-view for you on WCW.
WCW.
You can see Bears pissing.
I'm telling you, there's some bad ones on
You
here.
can see Oz. You can. Ooh.
Some bad
You
ones.
can see Jimmy Garvin with a bad dude.
That's true. But that is coming up next.
That's Thunder and Lightning.
Oh my goodness, that yes. So come back to hear about that.
And Jungle Jim.
Jungle Jim Steel. Lord Jesus.
So
that's
come
weird.
on back to part 2
Birthday.
of episode 109 of Top Rope Rally. I'm Mike Hogan.
And I'm just a cat.
We'll see you in a few clickety click 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 clicks.